is our last round trip of the evening. We will be making 2 other stops still along the route. First in Congo and then in Stanleyville before we return here finally to Nairobi. You're welcome to get off at any of those stations. As we depart from the Nairobi train station, be sure to look to the right-hand side of the train and say goodbye to our station master, Brian. He's up at the front of the train. Everybody say goodbye, Brian.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye, Brian.
Bye. Gonna miss you, buddy.
The green and yellow roller coaster on the left-hand side of the train is the Cheetah Hunt. Cheetah Hunt is a triple launch coaster, launching you from 0 to 60 in a matter of seconds, 3 times throughout the ride. The Cheetah Hunt hand side of the train is where you board both the Cheetah Hunt roller coaster and the Sky Ride. The Sky Ride will give you a bird's eye view of our park as you travel from the Crown Colony area up to the Stanleyville area of the park, or vice versa. You can dine indoors and enjoy the air conditioning, or sit out on the veranda and enjoy the view of the animals on the Serengeti Veldt. Or of course, just wave at all the passing steam. And that steam propels the train along the tracks. To the left-hand side of the train, through the gap in the bushes at the crossing, you'll see the lesser flamingos. The lesser flamingos are believed to be the most numerous, and they do travel in the most numerous numbers of all the flamingos. Some flocks have been known to include up to 1 million lesser flamingos and several thousand greater flamingos. Now, the advantage to traveling in such a huge flock is that it does give the flamingos a 360-degree field of vision. That means they can see what's coming from every direction. Now, flamingos are actually white birds. They do get their pink coloring from the microorganisms in their diet. We're now entering the Egypt area of the park. Here in Egypt, you will find a few of the games. Most of the games, however, are located in the Timbuktu area. If you keep looking out to your left through the next gap in the bushes, you might spot some of those animals we'll see while out on the Serengeti Veldt. The large blue and cream-colored roller coaster on the right-hand side of the train is the Montu. Montu will take you 150 feet into the air and drop you at speeds of 65 miles per hour through 7 inversions. Now, Montu is an inverted steel coaster, which means the tracks are above your head while your feet dangle down below. We will now be entering our Serengeti Veldt, where our animals do roam free and they do have a tendency to cross over the tracks. Please stay seated at all times, as we might have to make sudden stops or sudden starts, and we don't want anyone falling. So again, for your safety, please stay seated at all times throughout the ride. Now, as we do first enter into the Veldt through the first opening, you want to keep an eye out to the left-hand side, and you might spot some of our Addicts antelope. Now, this is the time of night where all the animals come down to eat, and luckily all their feeders are right next to the tracks. So hopefully we'll get a lot of up-close view of our animals.
That's fun.
Again, you do want to make sure we remain seated at speeds of about 55 miles per hour, making them some of the fastest animals you'll find in the Serengeti. Now, out to the left-hand side of the train, you'll see the eland antelope. That's these big tan antelope with the horns. The eland are the largest and the slowest of the antelope species. Despite that, they are pretty amazing jumpers. They can actually jump 10 feet in the air from a near stand start. On both sides of our tracks, we do have our reticulated giraffe. They'll reach heights between 16 and 18 feet, and they can weigh up to 1 ton. Again, please be sure to stay seated at all times for your safety. Please stay seated. Up in the front too, please stay seated. Please stay seated, sir. Thank you. The word reticulated does refer to the net-like pattern of their spots. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please stay seated. You'll notice some of our baby giraffe here. In the wild, the giraffe do everything standing up. That does include eating, drinking, and for the mothers giving birth. So that baby's first experience into the world is a 6-foot drop to the ground. Out to the left-hand side of the train, we have some of the Grevy's zebra. The Grevy's are the largest of the zebra species, easily recognized by these white underbellies. Again, please stay seated up front. Please stay seated. Again, please stay seated. Sir, in the front, please be seated. Thank you. We have one of our ostrich out to our left. That's the largest bird, standing up to 9 feet high and weighing up to 330 pounds. Due to their size, they cannot fly, but they can run some pretty amazing speeds of up to 42 miles per hour. Again, please make sure to stay seated at all times, children included. Children are welcome to sit on your laps or on the seats, but everyone does need to stay seated. If you keep looking out to the left of the train, we have some of our wildebeest. That's these gray shaggy animals with the horns. They're also known as white-bearded gnu for the white hair that runs from their chins down their necks. They do travel in some of the most dense herds of all land mammals right next to
болото.
That means even if you mix your eggs up with everybody, water that they need from the food they eat, so they can survive in environments with very little to no water. Again, the springbok are the gazelles out to our left. After you've seen those springbok, if you look to your right, we have some of our Grant gazelle. The Grant gazelle have the interesting ability to regulate their body temperatures to conserve their water. All right, our next animals will be on the left-hand side of the train. There are white rhino. The white rhino is the second largest land mammal, weighing from 4,000 to 6,000 pounds. Now, despite that massive size, they do have a charging speed of about 35 miles per hour, and they can turn pretty quickly in tight spaces. Now, you will notice that the white rhino is not actually white. They do get that. We're about to go into a tunnel, so feel free to make the noise of your favorite animal. Far out to our left there, you might notice those big brown cattle. They're just this side of the rock, way out to our left there. Those are our Watusi or Ankole cattle. They are considered to be sacred to the tribesmen in Africa, and those horns, believe it or not, can reach up to 6 feet in length. On the right-hand side of the train, we have the midpoint for our sky ride. This is not an entrance or an exit. It simply turns our sky ride either toward the Crown Colony entrance or toward our Stanleyville entrance. We are now approaching the Congo train station. In Congo, you'll find our Kufa roller coaster, the Ubanga Banga bumper cars, and the Congo River Rapids. Congo is our closest stop to both the Timbuktu and Jangala areas of the park. In Timbuktu, we have a few smaller rides and most of our games, as well as the Desert Grill, where you can enjoy a show as you eat your meal. We're also closest to Jangala. We have a few rides for ages 6 to 13, and you'll also find our Bengal tigers and orangutans. As we pull into the Congo train station, please remain seated until we come to a full and complete stop. I will let you know when it is safe to exit. The exits will be located at the far end of the station. Again, my name is Elizabeth, and I hope you've enjoyed your ride aboard the Serengeti Express. If you do plan to stay aboard with us, our next stop will be in Stanleyville.